This is ABC 7 News at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. First tonight, 2 people accused of trying to kill a Belfast man pleaded not guilty in Waldo County Superior Court today.
Justin Wilmot and Isabella Newey were arrested last month after an alleged stabbing and robbery in Belfast. The alleged attack took place on June 11th at an encampment behind the Belfast Rennies. Newey entered her not guilty plea via Zoom. Wilmot did not appear in court, but his attorney submitted a plea of not guilty on his behalf. Both Wilmot and Newey were indicted on July 19th and face multiple charges, including attempted murder, armed robbery, elevated aggravated assault, and aggravated assault. They are also charged with falsifying physical evidence and theft. Bail for each defendant was set at $80,000 last month during their first court appearance. Newey is being held at the Two Bridges Regional Jail, Wilmot at Knox County.
2 Maine Department of Transportation employees were seriously injured at a job site in Cushing this morning. The incident happened around 8 a.m. The workers were part of a crew that was retrieving sheet piles near the intersection of River Road and Pleasant Point Road. A statement from Maine DOT says the workers were pinned between an excavator and a flatbed trailer. Both workers were transported to Penn Bay Medical Center in Rockport. They are in stable condition. The incident has been reported to the Maine Department of Labor, which has jurisdiction over incidents at state job sites. The DOT is also working with the Knox County Sheriff's Office.
Well, 1 man died while whitewater rafting on the Penobscot River near the area known as the Big Eddy. According to Mark Lottie with the Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife, 38-year-old Scott Newton of Madison and 2 others were thrown from their raft when it flipped yesterday afternoon. All 3 were wearing life jackets and helmets. After 2 of the rafters made it to shore, they saw Newton floating by unresponsive. Lottie says his body was retrieved a few minutes later and taken to a funeral home where the state medical examiner will perform an autopsy.
We also have an update tonight on a separate drowning incident in Lincoln on Sunday. The Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife has identified the man as 61-year-old Brian Minot of New Gloucester. The department says he was swimming near the middle of Little Narrows Pond with 4 others around 2:30 on Sunday afternoon. They say he swam toward the stern of the anchored pontoon boat, went under, and then never resurfaced. Minot was later located at about 30 feet of water, approximately 1,000 feet from the shore. He was brought to a funeral home in Lincoln.
Well, the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office is investigating a crash in Milford that killed a woman. The Sheriff's Office says at midnight on Sunday, a 49-year-old woman from Greenbush had been traveling home from work when she went off the road. Another driver on the road called in the crash and provided CPR to the woman, but she could not be revived. Police arrived on scene to find her deceased. Early indications show the woman may have passed away from a medical event. The crash is still under investigation.
Volunteers and state agencies continued the search for 18-year-old Tyler Michaud today. Michaud was reported missing by a family member on Friday evening after he never returned from tending to his lobster traps. Several volunteer pilots have offered their services alongside Maine Marine Patrol. Today's search involved Marine Patrol vessels and the Marine Patrol plane, along with aircraft from the Army National Guard and private pilots, which provided aerial support. The search will continue tomorrow with patrol vessels as well as the Marine Patrol plane, along with continued aerial support by the National Guard, focusing on the area near Petite Manan Point. Sergeant Sean Dow says Maine Marine Patrol plans to continue their search efforts until Michaud is found.
Well, Maine voters rallied at the State House Tuesday ahead of a Senate vote to override the governor's veto on a bill that aims to make Maine elections safer. Our Matthew Juronsik has the story.
Today, we are here to ask the legislature a simple question. Will you choose to stand with us, the Maine voters who are trying to protect our elections, or will you choose to stand with the very foreign governments that are disrupting our democracy?
If signed into law, it would prohibit a government foreign entity from making any form of contribution to influence the nomination of a candidate or approval of a referendum. It would also help promote an anti-corruption amendment to be added to the United States Constitution, allowing citizens to regulate the cost of money in elections. This initiative has received bipartisan support from both Republicans and Democrats within Maine legislature.
Mainers are more than capable of making their own decisions. We don't need governments of other countries telling us how to vote.
We've been willingly holding the door open for them to manipulate our elections and to change the culture and character of our great state of Maine.
However, the vote came up short of overriding the governor's decision.
73 having voted in the affirmative, 50 in the negative, 73 being less than 2/3 of the membership present. The veto is sustained.
I'm disappointed but not surprised. This is a measure which is very commonsensical to Maine people.
Representative Banks is happy with the amount of attention this has received.
I thought we did quite well getting a 73-50 vote. It reaffirmed that the vast majority of the legislature, both in the House and Senate, are with the people of Maine on this.
Though the veto override was not successful, it does not mean the fight is over. Because it's a citizen ballot initiative and has received 80,000 signatures, this question will be back on the main ballot in November's election. In Augusta, Matthew Juronsik, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Maine voters will decide whether to restore long-removed language about the state's obligations to Native American tribes to printed versions of its constitution. Today, the Maine legislature gave its final approval to a proposal to restore language that requires Maine to honor treaties it inherited from Massachusetts when it became its own state more than 2 centuries ago. The language has always applied but was removed from printed versions of the Constitution in the 19th century. Maine voters must also approve the change to the Constitution.
Well, Maine will receive more than $520,000 to help expand rural access to health care. The money is part of President Biden's Investing in America agenda. 2 Maine health care facilities are receiving grants. Fish River Rural Health serves the northernmost towns in Aroostook County. That facility is getting almost $70,000 to buy equipment for family medicine, dental, and optometry services, along with technology and food distribution. Belfast's Penobscot Community Health Center will get more than $450,000. It will be used to renovate the first 2 floors of the recently acquired facility, which serves around 8,000 patients annually.
Last Wednesday, Governor Mills vetoed a bill that would place limits on mandatory overtime and set a minimum wage and overtime rate for agricultural employees. This afternoon, the Maine Senate was unsuccessful in overriding the governor's veto. They were deadlocked at 61 votes apiece. The bill would have phased in overtime pay for individuals employed in the agriculture industry and related industries. Bangor native and Representative Amy Roeder says she wished the bill received the 2/3 support needed.
State by state, we have to undo the damaging work of the 1930s. I was hoping Maine would step into the 21st century and do that.
The Maine Farm Bureau has since weighed in on the decision, applauding the legislature for sustaining Governor Mills' veto. And looking outdoors today, it certainly was another warm day. We were expecting that, though, but we really felt it out there.
You know, we definitely get a couple of hot snaps, if you want to call them that, each summer, and they're definitely pretty stark in contrast to the usually fairly temperate weather that we tend to enjoy here in the state of Maine. So we're just kind of muscling through, and for those who love the high temperatures, you're probably in your glory, and congratulations. Yeah,
they won't be around too much longer.
Here's hoping. All right, let's go ahead and get a first check of our forecast.
Thank you so much, Beth and Peter. Our first weather today is brought to you by Webb's RV. Come check out the spring and summer specials we have on RVs and campers. Don't forget, we have the sharpest pencil in town, and another hot day out there today, folks. Back in the 80s, let's go, right? Finally, the heat is sticking around. Mid-80s here in town, a couple of 70s by the coast, Rockland into Bar Harbor, but up north, we saw 80s once again. So a great looking day. Hopefully, we spent a little bit of time outdoors with that air quality. Not too bad. Most locations are in the green. A couple of spots around town are on the moderate end. Still nothing compared to any air quality advisory level just yet. We are going to have some increasing clouds with a couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms overnight tonight, and that will be the trend the next upcoming 5 days. Tonight, though, look at this. Well above average temperatures once again in those mid-60s. Beth and Peter?
All right, well, we'll have more detail coming up in the full 5-day.
Indeed, we will.
All right, coming up on ABC 7 News at 6, our AJ Douglas introduces us to the Bangor Public Library's new Community Resource Coordinator.
And in response to Maine's lack of veterinarians, one local vet is taking her clinic on the road. We'll have those stories and much more as ABC 7 News at 6 comes right back.
Why wait until November when Black Friday deals are going on now at Ashley? Take advantage of low monthly payments with 0% interest through July 2028, in-store only. Plus, shop doorbusters starting at just $2.99. Shop and save today, only at Ashley.
It's the Toyota Summer Savings Event featuring trucks from the longest-lasting brand, Toyota. Right now, you could save up to $1,900 with 3.99% financing on a four-wheel drive Tacoma. Toyota, let's go places.
Hi, I'm Alice Seeger. Welcome to Belfast Fiber Arts. We provide hand-woven, hand-spun, knitted and quilted, upcycled clothes and art items for your home. We also feature weaving looms, spinning wheels, and supplies. We are a weaving studio and a maker space with a sewing lab and a textile research library. We offer classes, workshops, and study groups. So stop by and visit us at Belfast Fiber Arts. We're at 171 High Street in Belfast between the Colonial Theatre and the Beanbag Store. We look forward to seeing you.
Dine on the deck with a delicious view at the Lucerne Inn and Ryan's Pub. Experience outdoor dining at its finest. Open Tuesday through Sunday with award-winning dishes from their executive chef, Arturo Montes. Dining on the deck at Ryan's Pub is an unforgettable culinary experience you'll want to share with your family and friends. We are pet-friendly, so your furry friends are always welcome to join you at your table. Your next visit to the Lucerne Inn will feel like the first, all over again.
At Hashi's Auto Enhancing, our focus is on the appearance, longevity, and value of your vehicle. Does your undercarriage look like this? You can go from this to this. And if you have a new vehicle, you can avoid this. Our annual undercoating service will add years of life to your vehicle. At Hashi's, we also do rhino linings. We can rhino rocker panels, bumpers, trailers, side-by-sides, and more. We take pride in making your ride shine inside and out. Book one of our detailing packages.
Bring your ride to us to protect your investment.
Hey, Maine. How are you? Yes, you. How are you really? It's a question we rarely ask ourselves. But to Northern Light Health, how you are means a lot. So we're out here asking and encouraging you to ask the people in your life, starting with yourself. So ask away. Then connect with us at northernlighthealth.org/howareyou.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back. Despite a national social worker shortage, more non-traditional spaces are adding mental health and social work access. Our AJ Douglas spoke to the Bangor Public Library's new Community Resource Coordinator to understand how they plan to serve community members in need.
Libraries have been a source of information and a place that people go to help them solve their problems.
The Bangor Public Library has been searching for a social worker candidate since this spring after being awarded $341,000 in American Rescue Plan Act funds. The funds come from both Penobscot County and the city of Bangor. The Director of Development and Public Relations says adding a social worker to the ranks makes someone available to tackle more complex problems.
Problems are getting a little more complicated for folks, so we looked to see what others were doing, and we found that there's a trend in hiring social workers to help fill those gaps.
Rickler says the role will allow the social worker to act as a liaison, connecting patrons to over 25 organizations in the Bangor area. Olivia Scott recently accepted the role as Community Resource Communicator last month. Scott says this is an innovative way to integrate a social worker into the community.
Is connecting with the different social service agencies in Bangor, connecting with our different community partners, and really getting to know their programs so that when I have people coming in, I can connect them with the person that's best suited to meet their needs.
In Bangor, I'm AJ Douglas for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Maine has a shortage of veterinarians, and no one understands that more than pet owners looking for services for their four-legged companions. One local vet has decided to take her clinic on the road to help pet owners in need. Our Jody Hersey introduces us to Go Vet Go.
And some people just either can't drive or don't want to drive or don't want to put their pet through that drive. So we get booked up pretty quickly.
Go Vet Go is a full-service veterinarian clinic on wheels. Owner and veterinarian Brandy Smith moved from Vermont to Maine and opened this mobile vet service in January of 2023.
We can do wellness exams, but we can also do medical exams. We can do diagnostic testing, blood work, x-rays, surgery. You know, we do a lot of dentals, so we can provide a full gamut of services.
The first Wednesday of every month, Go Vet Go parks next to the Machias Police Department's building and helps the residents in this area with all their veterinary needs.
And that's because we get so many calls from up here all the way down in Mount Desert that we knew there was a big need up this way.
Other days of the week, Go Vet Go makes house calls within a 1-hour radius. Luann Cox drove from Jonesboro to have 2 of her 5 Dachshunds seen by Smith.
She's very knowledgeable with foods and everything with your dogs. There's so much information she has to give you, and she's not rushing you. She really takes her time and makes sure the dogs get what they need.
Whether they are parked or making house calls, the staff at Go Vet Go say they are always on the move in order to provide much-needed veterinary services to the animals in Hancock and Washington counties.
I honestly love being there for people and being able to provide, the services that are needed.
In Machias, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Really great to see her helping to bridge the gap between those who might otherwise not have access to care for their animals.
Well, there's veterinary deserts all over the state, and certainly, far north and far to the east, simply for distance, those folks struggle probably more to get services, especially on an emergency basis. And so it really is neat to see at least that primary care getting out there, which, as we both know, tends to thwart the bigger issues anyway, at least some of them.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, still to come on ABC 7 News at 6. Some big news out of Boston today. One star is sticking around for the near future, and one is hanging it up.
We'll have that story and much more right after the break.
When I travel across Maine, I can get cash without paying extra fees. Thanks to Maine Credit Union's Surf Network, I have access to the largest surcharge-free ATM network in the state. Find a Surf ATM at maincreditunions.org.
Established in 1925, Bangor Floral has been a premier provider of beautiful floral arrangements and thoughtful gifts for almost 100 years. Whatever the occasion, our premium collection of colorful blooms, blossoming plants, and gift baskets have warmed hearts for generations. We strongly support the Buy Local movement, purchasing directly from local farms and growers, and we are committed to the preservation of our environment. Bangor Floral, located at 332 Harlow Street. Stop in today to experience a flower shop like no other.
Mossy Ledge Spirits is a true hidden gem in Etna. Located just 3 miles off 95, exit 167, we are home to tastings, tours, cocktails, bottles, live music, minis, and priceless memories. And this summer, we are proud to introduce our all-new canned spirits. At Mossy Ledge Spirits, we take pride in what we put in the can, and our delicious new flavors are a perfect way to enjoy the summer. So enjoy some pizza and raise the glass here at Mossy Ledge Spirits.
Concert event of a lifetime. Come experience the dynamic energy of one of the most accomplished musicians of our time, Carlos Santana. 1001 Rainbows Tour 2023. August 2nd, Maine Savings Amphitheater, Bangor, Maine. Take a trip through the hits from Woodstock to Supernatural and a backwards flip into the unknown. On sale now at waterfrontconcerts.com.
When we opened in 2018, our business plan was to grow quickly. We had 6 employees. 3 years later, over 50 employees. Being able to work with a credit union that believed in what we were trying to do has allowed us to grow so quickly.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Ansley Moore, a realtor since 2013, working throughout the state of Maine with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. Let's start with some basketball news. Free agency for the NBA started 25 days ago, and finally the Boston Celtics and All-NBA guard Jaylen Brown have reached an agreement on a contract extension. Brown was eligible for a Supermax contract this offseason after being selected second-team All-NBA last year. Supermax is $295 million. Boston and Brown agreed on the richest deal in NBA history so far, a 5-year extension worth $304 million. The deal keeps the two-time All-Star in Boston through 2029, and now the Celtics have 2 All-NBA players under 28 years old under contract for the foreseeable future. He averaged 26.6 points per game while shooting 49% last season. Both of those are career highs. Let's stay in Boston and move on to some hockey news now. Quite the opposite going on with the Bruins here. Longtime center and Bruins captain Patrice Bergeron announcing on Tuesday his decision to hang up the skates. Bergeron helped Boston win a Stanley Cup back in 2011 and has been with the team since the 2003 season, back when the Sox hadn't broken that curse yet. Bergeron is a 6-time Selke Award winner. That's an NHL record, and he really embodied the spirit of Boston. Here are his comments regarding the announcement. Quote, "For the last 20 years, I have been able to live my dream every day. I've had the honor of playing in front of the best fans in the world, wearing the Bruins uniform and representing my country at the highest levels of international play. I have given the game everything that I have physically and emotionally." End quote. What an unbelievable career for Patrice Bergeron, certainly someone that's going to be missed in Boston. Let's move on to some football now. The CAA holding their annual media day on Tuesday morning. Our first chance to hear from Jordan Stevens and co. ahead of training camp. The Black Bears open up training camp next Thursday, August 3rd, and they'll have about 15 practices, all open to the public ahead of the season. Their first official game is about a month from the start of camp on the road at Florida International on September 2nd. Maine was picked to finish 13th out of 15 teams in the CAA, but with the productive offseason they've had, Stevens says they'll be ready to go come August and definitely ready to go come September.
Really excited about this season coming up and the progress we've made as a team over the past really 8 months, working together, the commitment, the competitiveness our team has showed. I'm really looking forward to getting out, starting preseason camp next week. And then we have a challenge right out the gate playing at FIU.
We'll hear more from the Black Bears coming up on Fox at 10 and right here on ABC at 11. But for now, that's all the time we have for sports. Here's Conrad Sapinski with your full 5-day forecast. Conrad?
Thank you so much, Tyler. That was some great stuff there. Our Maine weather today is brought to you by the Blue Alpaca Ranch and Store. Visit our ranch and meet the alpacas or shop in our store in downtown Belfast. All right. Look at this. We're starting out warm, and we're not ending there. Early morning lows around 70 degrees. Can you believe that? With high dew points, not the most comfortable weather, but of course, we'll take the heat any day. 68 degrees, that was the start to our day. Look at the coast, same story. We're looking at 60s all over the area, but then we hit the 80s. 90s and 100s down south. Of course, Texas has been under that high pressure for a long period of time. Look at Phoenix, Arizona, 112 degrees, 25 days in a row. They have had temperatures over 110 degrees. Think about that. Almost a whole entire month with temperatures in the 110s plus. For us, though, no hundreds. That is great news. We don't want anything like that up here, but 90 degrees, that's going to be a hottest temperature we're going to hit at around Friday, then slowly cooling back off by the weekend. By next week, though, look at this. By Monday, we're looking at mid-70s, so slightly below average temperatures by next week. So I guess a pretty good sign for us. Today, though, we did have a good amount of sunshine, and now things are starting to go downhill slowly, though. There are a couple of showers and thunderstorms popping up, but they will be in the area overnight tonight. But let me remind you, this will be very scattered. It's not going to be an all-day event, and all-night event as well. But the next several days, we are looking at the same story. Lots of sunshine and then scattered showers and thunderstorms up until I'd say Thursday evening into those overnight hours. That's when it really starts to pick up. And we'll keep an eye on all those severe storms if there are any in the region. Of course, with that rain in the area, these dew points will be high. But Thursday afternoon, that's going to be our highest dew point. It is going to feel very humid outside with those temperatures close to 90 degrees. It's really not going to be a nice day to spend outdoors. But then by the weekend, it will be much more comfortable. Dew points will be a lot lower and temperatures will start to cool on off. It is a little bit breezy out there as well. We're looking at a solid 14-mile-per-hour wind in town. Bar Harbor, same story, a little bit less in Machias and in our eastern part of the state as well, but nothing strong in the next couple of days wind-wise. Tonight, though, a bit of a breeze once again with that southwest wind at around 10 to 20 miles an hour. Well above average temperatures, though. No surprises here. Mid-60s once again, a couple of scattered showers and thunderstorms in the area, and then we start to improve. Decreasing clouds later in the day, and tomorrow a really good looking day. Mid-80s outside, great beach weather. Go outside, enjoy the outdoors. We will have partly cloudy skies, a couple of sprinkles possible. Other than that, mainly clear tomorrow and hot. Get ready for the heat. Our extended forecast outlook does show even hotter temperatures rolling in by Friday. Then we start to cool off by the weekend. Temperatures will be back hovering close to 80 degrees. Beth and Peter?
All right, so that weekend cool down is definitely going to be very well received.
You know, it's been warm and toasty when a cool down is 82 degrees.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all right. Well, there's still more to come. Stay with us.
It's the Toyota Summer Savings Event, featuring cars from the longest-lasting brand, Toyota. You've been waiting for a new Toyota, so now's the time. Come and get it. Right now, you could save up to $1,600 with affordable 3.99% financing on an all-wheel drive Camry. And every Camry comes with 2 years no-cost maintenance and more. The Toyota Summer Savings Event at your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive headquarters. So come and get it. Toyota, let's go places.
If you or a loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma or asbestos-related lung cancer, contact the law offices of Joe Bornstein to learn about your legal rights. Maine has the highest rate of mesothelioma fatalities in the U.S. You may be eligible to receive compensation if you were exposed to asbestos products while working in a shipyard, mill, factory, or construction site. For a free case evaluation, dial 207-CALL-JOE or online at joebornstein.com.
Scudic & Bloom, a full-service, custom-designed florist, Main Street in Winter Harbor.
We can deliver one-of-a-kind, full-color flower arrangements
by custom floral designer me, Pam.
Delivering to Ellsworth and surrounding areas for any occasion.
Please visit scudicandbloom.com or call 844-SCUDIC.
Should I be selling right now? I gotta get a bigger place. What's my house worth? What do you think? What's my house really worth? That's pretty. How do I buy a house?
What if I don't have time to see it in person?
What is going on with this housing market?
You have questions. We can take the guesswork out of that. Contact a RE/MAX collaborative agent today. We service all of Maine.
Did you know that it's possible to buy the wrong type of flooring for your home? Whether you're a do-it-yourselfer or professional contractor, the experts at Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors are here to help, offering solid pro advice from choosing the right material and color to installation. Don DeKalb features the highest quality hardwood flooring sourced from lumber right here in Maine, from Maine traditions. Not only will you get a floor you'll love, you'll get a floor that will last. Don DeKalb Mainwood Floors, buy from the best, forget the rest.
Tonight, the heat wave is on the move with triple-digit temps that can feel even hotter. Plus, the wildfires forcing tourists to flee a popular vacation hotspot. More Americans turn to the most watched program on television. World News Tonight with David Muir.
Well, if the recent heat hasn't been enough of an excuse to get yourself a cold, sweet treat, you can now do so for a good cause. On Thursday, Dairy Queens everywhere will be holding their annual Miracle Treat Day. For every Blizzard treat bought, Dairy Queen will donate $1 to a local children's hospital through the Children's Miracle Network.
Feels really good, and it's very good also knowing that it gets donated locally, so it stays like with all of our hospitals around here too for the Children's Miracle Network.
You can head to dairyqueen.com to find a participating location near you. I didn't really need a better excuse to hit up DQ.
Yeah.
But I think we just got one anyway. And yeah, I'll be there with bells on Thursday.
Yeah, it sounds like it. And I think they picked the perfect day to do so, as looks like temperatures are making a push for 90 degrees on Thursday. So it's another great excuse to get out there, have a sweet treat, and to do so for a good cause as well.
Get the Papa Cup as well.
Yes. Oh, great idea.
Make it a family outing. Alrighty, folks, that is going to do it for us. From everybody here at ABC 7, take care and have a great rest of your night.
Good night, everyone.